Hello, everyone. Always think up, always think up, always think up. Oh, aligning with that divine mind. This is all we needed to do, guys. I'm gonna wait for a couple of you guys because it's a good one today. Clear out the space. We want some good people in here. Hello, Katrina. Hello, Miss Linda. Hello, Vicky. Guys. Oh, the rise of the divine feminine, huh? So I've been getting a lot of messages. Hello, lovely. I've been talking to a lot of people about this topic, and so I figured I'd come out and do a video because I figured it's going on everywhere. I wish, girl. It's Halo. Clear that space. I wish it was a big joint. I love you, girl. So, guys, the rise of the divine feminine is not the Man Hater Woman Club. That is, yes, girl. I do it all the time. I do some thick work. We're coming out of this thickness and we're coming into this greatness, right? And so I want to talk about this, right? So men and women, I say this all the time, have a divine masculine and a divine feminine inside of them. Like it's inside of you, right? And so there is a masculine and feminine aspect of God inside of you. Hello, I don't know what you're saying, but I think you're a relative. I love your guts all the way from Italy. Thank you. Yes. The divine feminine loves the divine masculine. Yes. Yes. And this is the heaviness that we're coming from. This is the place that nobody understands that place, Linda, because we come from such thick, heavy stuff where, men wanted to rule women and women felt like their lights have been put out. And all in all, there was no honor and respect in the relationships of the past, right? And so, this divine feminine rise is such a big deal because it's bringing back that honor and it's bringing back that respect for women. Therefore, the woman can love and feed the masculine and all this stuff just works out real good, right? Any judgment of our duality is judgment on self. Yes. So, honoring the feminine in us is of utmost importance for men and women. For so long, both men and women didn't really honor the feminine within inside of us, right? And what do I mean by that? Women had to be so tough because they felt like, the men were doing them wrong and they had to be so strong and hold up. And, men were being men, so they didn't really tap into their feelings. They didn't tap into, everything is consciousness. Everything is God. Men and women are the face of oneness. Yes. I see it getting there, Linda. I really do. I missed your video today. I gotta go back and play it back, but I'm sure it was good. I see it getting there. I see this in hospitals. I see this in, jails. I see this in places where a lot of people don't see it. And so that's how I know it's happening. But, we gotta honor the feminine inside of us. And so to all my ladies out there, that's like, saying it's okay to say you need help sometimes. To all my single moms out there, it's okay to build a community of friends and say, hey, I need a little bit of help supporting my tribe and things like that, right? The divine feminine is the tree of life, the pillar of balance, right? And so when women are off, the whole entire world is off. When the divine feminine in you is off, everything is off. It's just chaos, right? War, anger, meanness, madness. That's what that is. Divine feminine is the force that unites opposites. it brings heaven to the earth. And so, a lot of people message me about heaven on earth and what do I mean about heaven on earth, and we have wars and we have this and we have that. Guys, in honoring my divine feminine, I had to learn how to shut off the news. I had to learn how to rest and relax and rejuvenate. And I wasn't born that way. I was born to work like a mule, be tough. I was a home builder. I was a barber. Men and women, when I was growing up, we were always competing. Well, you're tough, I'm tough. You're tough, I'm tough. I'm not going to let you take care of me. I'm going to be strong. Those women who let men take care of them, they were weak because that man was running all around on them. See what I'm saying? See where we're coming from? So, the divine feminine unites the body and soul. So, you have a mind, you have a body, you have a soul. And so, the divine feminine aspect of you unites your body and your soul. Because of her, we have a direct path between humanity and divinity. So I have a lot of people message me that don't believe in divinity, don't believe in God, don't believe in all this stuff. Well, they're not tuning into the divine feminine aspects of them. And I'm not saying men or women, I'm saying people in general, men and women, aren't tuning into this aspect of them. We all have this. And so if you're not tuning in, you don't feel divinity. You don't feel divine. You feel tired. This masculine energy, heavy energy has you working hard. You don't feel like the creator. The divine feminine, it just births things to life. Not work to get them, right? When one balances both their masculine and feminine within, there's no face or separation of self. Both are the face of reproductive balance, the yin and the yang. The inner and the outer. Reproduction is the birth of both. Yes. And my great friend just shared a post about, this indigenous culture that women used to reproduce on their own. They have this chromosome and they could just reproduce. Asexual beings having babies. I love you guys. And I really believe it. In being the best deliberate creator alive and creating all these things I created in my life, I totally could see how, without this outer chaos and this heavy energy, how you could just really create a child from just a thought process, right? Some might think I'm crazy, but I'm telling you, I create some stuff. And I create it by what Linda just said, finding the balance between the masculine and feminine in me. And I really do believe, guys, that the balance comes in your heart. So I believe, the feminine is on the left, the masculine is on the right, but I believe that the feminine is up here and the masculine is in the lower chakras. Study chakras. I'm a chakra girl, right? And so a lot of women are up here in the crown chakra, and then a lot of men are down here in the root chakra. But where we meet is in the middle, in the heart space. For a woman to have love for a man because of the way he works. For a man to have love for a woman because the way she connects and the way she brings that in. We birth loves because we are love. Yes, you know me, girl. I got that love juice. I believe in that love juice, right? I love you guys. You guys pump me up. I think this would be good. So, we can experience God in the now moment in our bodies. And so anybody that you see that's out here having a hard time, they're having a hard time connecting into that divine masculine, that divine feminine. And so, instead of trying to get them to do something your way or things like that, or being mad because they don't get it, just send them unconditional love, because unconditional love is going to introduce them to the right people, the places, the things that they need to get these lessons, to get these things, right? And so divine feminine isn't a forcer of things. She's not a enforcer of things, right? She just kind of sits back like, I'm the creator. And so she lets unconditional love do the work for her. Full alignment of both sides. Being balanced in the heart. There's no feminine or masculine. There's a whole being. Yeah, but that whole being is made up by a feminine and masculine being. I love you. Yeah, hard times are the perfect place to let go of needing the experience what we classify as good. Yeah, so I believe that there is no good and bad, and I talk about this in this video today. So, all life on earth is consciousness, is a part of her, divine feminine. Therefore, all consciousness is sacred. Every single thing is sacred. And that's kind of what Linda was just talking about there. In the moment, there's no right or wrong because we're in the exact moment of just being. Exactly. So, guys, you have this light in you. You have it, it's in you, and then it's in all of your cells. It's all around you. It's in every living thing, everywhere. Every single thing is sacred. And so everything is pushing you to see how sacred you are. So that's why I believe that there's no good and bad, right? Because in all my research and all my studying and looking back at my ancestors and looking back at my family, some of them have been through a lot of really bad stuff. But all that bad stuff that they went through brought me here where I am right now to you today, talking about these things and how every single thing is sacred. My knee injury, 13 years, 10 years, hi, love. I was down and out. I was overweight. I was full of pain. But that brought me to do the work that I do today. See what I mean? So I'm sure if you start to look in yourself and start to love yourself more and start to see that the bad things were pushing you to be a better version of yourself, then you're going to see what I mean. So every experience really is a pure experience. I go and work in jails, and I go and I work with the homeless, and these are people that regular everyday things that we do aren't very regular for them. Homeless people don't just get up every day and take a shower. Sometimes they wear the same clothes for months, years. They wear their shoes until there's no shoes left, right? But they tell me how each experience, what that means. It's so funny because most of the time in my work, I feel like the homeless get it better than the rich, the people that pay all this money for all these training and coaching and all this stuff. The homeless really seem to get like the God aspect of life, the sacredness of life, the self-love, And yeah, everyone can use a little help along the way, but every experience is a pure experience. Every experience is a sacred experience. Whether it was super duper terrible or super duper great, it's all sacred. The nucleus is our dark. The energy in the cellular structure is pure light. Both must merge to create the spark of life. Yes, light and dark equals whole. When we lift ourselves up by principles, ethics, and priorities, we no longer need to look, suffer, and indulge in any of the lower things. Yes, Linda, the homeless are free from the system. And they were one of my biggest teachers on really wanting to be free from the system, because a lot of people that are homeless because they want to be free from all the bullshit. And there is a lot of bullshit. But we're getting to a better place. I believe we're coming to a better time. Divine feminine is the truth. That there is light in the center of everything that happens, whether it's good or bad. I learned from the homeless. They teach me how to stay humble and present. Absolutely. I learned from the homeless too, girl. And, I have to tell you that, as I've been going through all these things and learning to love myself better, losing friends and changing jobs and all these things, just one little trip out with the homeless just lets you know, they're grateful for the simplest things. And so what am I getting all fussy about with my stuff, right? I love you. And I love the viewpoint that they give me. I was recently made homeless. Yeah. I was talking to a girlfriend of mine, and she was homeless and she was angry. And I said, a lot of the homeless people that I have met, they became homeless to become happier, that their home and all that, pressure to meet a certain standard was making them feel caged in and stuff like that. And so, you take that homelessness and all my people out there, they play with it. Like, yeah, they have hard times just like us. But they're learning that as they stay in alignment, they're really wealthy. They get the things that they need when they need them. And, they're not asking for BMWs and, big time stuff. They're asking for little stuff like, can I get a meal today? Can I get somewhere warm to stay if it's cold at night? Little teeny tiny things. And so that's what teaches me to be humble about the things I have in my life, and to know that I really am wealthy when when I know that all of my needs are met. Yeah, all worry goes when we have no foundations to worry about, of course. But then, a lot of the work that I do with the homeless is building a foundation back up how they want it, not to government structures. And that's why, I love the work that I did here in Pittsburgh, because I was working with the homeless to build foundations back up. And so, there ain't nothing like building your foundation. There ain't nothing like starting at the root. And it's so much easier for someone who's homeless to start at the root than whenever you're working with somebody who already built all this stuff, because a lot of people that have all kind of stuff, they don't want to get rid of it to rebuild. They have just all this shit on this rocky foundation, and it's, not good, but they're so afraid to let go of their stuff. So that's why my work with the homeless has been like the best work. They've come so far, and they've done so many things in the name of love and self-love. And the ones who don't have homes, we come up with options for them to get warm for the winter, because Pittsburgh winter gets very, very cold. And as a social worker, you have to get tricky and tell them, where to go and where to be, and kind of how to navigate that whole entire life so they can be warm. We used to bus a lot of people down south, and then we found out that it was like a federal offense to feed the homeless or give them money. So you kind of had to like break the law and do it on the fly. I lived down there for a while. So homelessness is a free state of being. It's a self-reminder of our primal needs and how we put energy on things that have no value. The homeless look after each other, and their compassion is a lot higher than most can imagine. Yeah. Yes. A big part of my work is I work with trauma. And so when you're building your foundation from trauma, you can keep on building rocky foundations. And so one thing I love to do is do energy work on the homeless, so they really can get to that free state of being. Not trying to make them get homes or anything, but trying to help them to release the traumas that they went through, because a lot of the homeless who have been through traumas attract those same traumas in the streets. Yes, and that's what I'm about to talk about today. Our homeless remind me of our tribal memories back to survival and unity. Yes, and that's what I'm about to talk about. So, do you see, in all the things I've been talking about with the rise of the divine feminine, do you see how where we were coming from was missing this? Do you see how your ancestors were raised and how they coexisted in these relationships, and how you get the things that you got today? Do you see that, how without this divine masculine, it was kind of like hindering all of creation? Without this body-soul connection, people don't feel connected to creation. They don't feel connected They kind of feel like they have to deal with the tribes they were given. They have to deal with the circumstances that they were given. If a woman was married to a man, had kids, she felt like she had to stay there. Men had seen so much going on that they felt like they were supposed to cheat and lie and disrespect the woman. A lot of that stuff, and this is in men and women. I'm not bashing any sex. If you offer me a mansion or a cardboard box, I choose the latter. Yeah, I'm really simplistic. But, in my healing, I've been learning, how to love myself and how to just create exactly what I want and what I love. And so, for a long time, I was raised with a lot of money, and I was raised in a really heavy energy place. And so for a long time, I didn't want anything to do with money, and I didn't want anything to do with big houses or fancy stuff or anything like that. And so for a long time, I kicked it with the homeless and all the less fortunate and all that stuff because I felt so much love in those places. And now what I'm learning is I can really have whatever I want. So I can have good stuff with a good community full of love. It doesn't have to be that you have all this nice stuff and you have such a shitty experience. Part of loving yourself is attracting quality things into your life. Hey, love. Part of loving myself is like, I do like nice things. I do like good food. I do like good experiences, but I want to be around good people who genuinely, honestly love. And so, the divine feminine is a reminder that, we're not just this body. We're not just the pain that we are going through or the confusion that we're used to, right? We're more than that. We are light. We are light. Molecules of heaven in human form. And so if you're losing connection with that, or if you're a man or a woman and you don't feel connected to my message, or if you do feel connected but you want to learn more, put your hands on your heart and say, I am light. At the center of everything there is light, and I am that light. You are that light. You are that light. You are that light. Yes, I am the best deliberate creator alive. But you can also be the best deliberate creator alive, because the thing I learned is there's enough for everybody to have good stuff. There's enough for everybody to be good and do good and have everything they need and be fully supported and be wealthy in their own way, right? So self-love, unconditional love, that's what we're talking about, right? Alignment is for everyone. Alignment is for every single person. Being healed is happening. Like, this vibration that's lifting is pushing everyone's emotions up and out. It's pushing everyone to really look at all consciousness as, a divine, as a good thing, as sacred. As the divine feminine rises, so does the divine masculine. And we've talked about this a bunch of times. The angels want you to express the light that is inside of you. And so everybody's surrounded by a whole bunch of angels, whether you know their names or you don't know their names or whatever. As you are rising in this divine feminine, men and women, and as you are seeing this light in your life and all around you, the angels are promoting you to express that light. Speak your mind. Speak up for yourself. Ask them. You can ask them, how can I communicate in ways that allow me to be heard or received? Because that's important about communication. You can come on here and you can just be, blah, 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 my rights, my rights, my rights. But if no one's going to receive that, if no one's going to hear that, then what is that going to do? That reminds me of growing up, just listen to me no matter if I'm right or wrong. And, I was always the kid like, well, I got a question. And they're like, why do you have a question, Sarah? Half the time, our parents used to say, because I said so. I try not to say that to my daughter, because I try to explain things to her that are going on, because I think that that's a lot of what happened is, as children, we asked a lot of questions and we didn't really get answers. And it was because our parents really didn't know how to answer us. And so they were like, I don't know, tuck that down. But I really do believe that all of this starts with self-love, unconditional love for you. And so this divine feminine rising is just trying to get us to fall in love with ourselves. I have so many clients, men and women, who do not love themselves. I get it. I get where they come from. I get the stories that they share with me. But I also know that, like, if you take little steps to love yourself, you start to feel this light. You start to feel how divine you are. You start to feel how amazing you are, right? And so, like, every little step means something. But this divine feminine, this, manifesting all you desire, is like speaking it out of your throat. Your throat is the bridge. Your throat creates. So when you're sitting around your friends, are they talking like, oh, I can't do this, I can't be this, I can't have this, I hate her, I can't stand that, right? Because that creates that. Or are you around a bunch of dreamers? Because now I've created that I am around a bunch of people like me, where we mastermind. We don't just talk, we mastermind things, right? So we talk about the planet is healing. We talk about everyone is sacred, everyone is divine, right? So you start to speak this so much, and then your intuition pops in, right? And then you literally see these things like heaven on earth. Hello, beautiful. And remember. And then the more you speak this and start to see it in your mind's eye, the more your heart fills up about it. So the more you start to get feelings about it. So the more you speak it, you see it, you feel it, you speak this abundance from your mouth, you see it, you feel it. There's no right way. I stumbled so many times along this journey. You're okay. But you have to see what you're talking about is coming into your life. What you're talking about is what you're seeing in the world. What you're talking about is what you start feeling, right? Guys, I love my ancestors. Like, love my ancestors. Without them, there would be no me. Without your ancestors, there would be no you. Do you love your ancestors? Are you happy about where you came from? Are you happy about the stories about where you came from? I can see in looking back, and I'm a research nerd, right? I research my friends. I research my family. I research my job, my past jobs, everything. That got me to here where I am today. So I see how each one of my ancestors tried to be better than what they came from. Does that make sense? So they were all coming from such a heavy masculine energy, right? Where they didn't really believe in God. They didn't really believe in sacredness, in divinity, right? They thought it was like this outside thing that they could never reach. They never embodied this in their selves, right? Yet they got us all the way to here. This conversation, what I'm speaking out of my mouth right now to you guys, right? So, I love my Nana. I love my Nana. And I'm going to break it down. I'm going to get a little personal. It's all unconditional love, right? So, these past 10 years, I've really been diving into my Nana and really wanting to learn about her and know about her, right? And at first, I didn't even know why I was doing it. I didn't realize that it would be so powerful for today, for this video, for all of you to understand what I mean. So, my whole entire life growing up, my Nana has been big, huge love. My number one fan, my master supporter, my unconditional love, always there for me, always sticking up for me, always, always, always on my side, right? So maybe about 9 or 10 years ago, she told me that when she grew up, her mother used to burn her with cigarettes to get her away from her. So her mother and her father were both really big alcoholics. That's what that heavy energy will do, right? Make you just, let me just drink myself until this life is over, right? Women weren't very in tune with their divine masculine inside of them. It's always been there, but they just weren't in tune with it. It wasn't like hip. It wasn't like in the ends. Women that were in tune with that were called witches, and they hung them, and they did all kind of crazy shit, right? But, so my Nana grows up. She gets out of that, and she marries a man. Great man. I love my pap, right? And so they had 6 kids. He worked, and he kept getting her pregnant. She didn't have a voice in that. That's what she was supposed to do. He helped her get away from her parents. That's what she was supposed to do. Well, you guys know who have babies like that makes you tired, right? So he was a police officer, and he was following the vibration that he came from. So, I have a lot of male clients today that have cheated on people, women that they love, right? And they'll say, where I come from, that's like expected of me, right? So I get it. My grandpa cheated on my grandma all the time, and she's a boss. So she got to the place one day where she was like, yo, I'm fed up with this shit. I'm putting all your shit outside. I'm done with that shit. She had 6 kids. She was a single mom. She was a boss. Filed for divorce. She was Catholic. They didn't allow her to go to church. She said, fuck it anyway. Sent my kids. Sent them with money. I am not dealing with it anymore, right? So that's some boss bitch shit. I love my Nana. But not until recently did I really start to see it all, right? Her heart was hurt by that. Her heart was hurt by, she had all these kids. She got cheated on. That broke her heart. Then she got stuck with all these kids by herself. He just went off, made another family, did whatever he wanted, right? So here she is, stuck trying to be the best single mom that she could be. And I know for my single moms out here, you guys can feel this, right? She never talked really bad about my pap, right? She just kept moving through life. She became an engineer. She did some really cool shit in her life, right? Been married a few times, traveled the world, had some different careers. Ended up retiring in Ireland, like super boss when we talk about divine feminine. However, she tucked down this hurt, this hate, this anger that she had for my grandpa, right? So she tucked it down deep, like real down deep. And in that, she gave that to her kids, because I tell you guys all the time that you're always transference of energy from your subconscious mind. So that's why it's good to talk about things. Find you a partner, a friend, somebody you can trust to talk these things out. Write them out in your journal, burn them, however you got to do it, right? So what happened was she created these kids, right? And they felt this hate, but they didn't know what it was because Nana never talked about it. And so that created hate in them, self-hate. They didn't know what that was coming from. Speaking up wasn't okay. It wasn't okay for my Nana. It wasn't okay for her mom. It wasn't okay for my aunts and uncles. It wasn't okay. It wasn't okay to speak up. Like, they would have literally killed me in the Times Square because I was going to do this anyways. So, our parents passed that to us. And what I learned is it was just like a major disrespect for men. And I get it. Because if you're going to be disrespected, you don't want that in your life, right? And that's where self-love comes in and fills up all them spaces, right? Because, in self-love, you learn to speak up for yourself and say, I'm not going to get disrespected anymore, but I'm not going to hold on to that and create this disease in myself, right? I'm not saying anyone was wrong. I'm just saying now that this divine feminine has risen, it's helping us to do this better. It's helping us to heal from these ancestral patterns that have been going on for so long. Guys, for so long I didn't have a relationship because I couldn't stand men. I couldn't stand cheating men. Everybody I met was a cheater, a liar. I couldn't stand that. I couldn't see that. So in loving myself, I was like, you know what? I'll just stay by myself. I'm good, right? I got a lot of slack for that. What are you, gay? What are you? Why are you hiding this? Why are you doing this? Whatever. I didn't care, right? So right now, breaking generational patterns. A family who avoids enzyme 4 generations dies. It takes 6 generations to completely rewrite and rebuild DNA. I love you, girl. I love you. Yeah. And I made it, me and my mom had a big talk the other day, and I just said, she said that she kind of felt like my videos were like a bash on her. And I'm like, what? Did you ever watch my videos? Like, I have so much love for you. You're my mother. Like, I love you. And she's like, well, I really, I said to her one day, like, I just really wish that you as my mom could be proud of me and the work that I do out here. And she's like, I am really proud of you, Sarah. Just sometimes I just don't understand what you're doing. And that's what it is, avoiding things, communicating about things, avoiding things. That's what I'm always talking to my mom about, because I don't avoid things. I am a communicator. And sometimes when I communicate, it doesn't always come out right. But I need to know. I need to discuss this. If something isn't sitting right with me, I need to say. If something doesn't feel right, I need to move or change. I've always been like that since a little kid. And since I was a little kid, my mom's like, where in the hell did this kid come from? Like, shut up. Shut up. Why do you keep talking about this? And I'm sure that now that she sees me at 35 and doing this work and doing these videos, sometimes she's like, oh my God, would you just shut up? My little sister came to me and said, Mom really doesn't like that you do these videos. And I'm like, dang, man, like, do you understand this is part of my work? Like, every single client that I have, we go back into our families. We talk about it, and it's great because of the unconditional love that I have for my families and my ancestors and everything that I came through. It's not like I'm down talking anyone. It's just that I can say it and see it and recognize it, so I can talk to somebody who doesn't say it and see it, recognize it, so they can recognize it and have love for their families and break that. I don't want my baby to be a man-hater. I don't want her to be disrespected in her relationships. I don't want her to feel like life is hard and she's not a creator. I want her to create her life. I want her to connect with a tribe that brings her joy in her heart, because that's special to me. That is really, really special to me. And so as I keep doing this, she's like my number one motivation. Like, at first when I was young, it was my sisters and brothers. I'm the big sister. And now it's my baby. I mean, yeah, I still want the same for my sisters and brothers, but now they're all big. It's up to you. I'm not here to push my way on anyone. I'm just here to say self-love and unconditional love is going to heal your life. Getting yourself in alignment with your divine mind is going to heal your life. Yeah, girl. That's the best part, And sometimes whenever the thick and heavy is on, I try to just think like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see my baby and how she creates fast and, how she does all this stuff. It, like, doesn't have to study this stuff till she's 35 to let it rip. So, do you guys feel like you're with the tribe that you thought you had to be with? Or do you feel like, you're creating your tribe? Do you feel like you're just staying quiet and putting up with things that don't serve you and don't, putting up with people that don't honor you and respect you? Because this is so much bigger than men and women in relationships. I've had girlfriendships for 30 years that there was no respect and honor. It was just like a bunch of use, right? And it took a long time for me to get rid of that. Guys, we are social creatures. So, like, we crave social interaction. So a lot of people deal with friends or partners or work or something that is not honorable and there's not respect in it because you just want to be around people. I like leaders. I like to attract leaders. I love people that want to lead. I love people that want to take their hurts and turn it into love. It's like lighting it on fire to let it come out brand new. Yes, Betty, I love your guts. So are you leading Or are you just like following what you think you're supposed to do? I like leaders. I attract leaders. I love to have leaders all around me. You know, guys, when I thought I was leading my whole life, but there was something in me that just like wasn't fulfilled. And it's because I was just staying quiet. And if somebody was doing something that wasn't honoring or respecting me because of love, I was like, oh, I love them. Let me just keep them here. But the more I spoke my truth, I saw my visions and I felt it in my heart, you know, a lot of things that weren't good for me fell apart. They crumbled down. So all these things that weren't good for me, all these relationships that weren't good for me, all these jobs that weren't good for me, they fell apart. But they didn't fall apart for something bad. And that's why I say there's no good and there's no bad. When I lost my 30-year friendships, I was heartbroken. But then it was like as soon as I lost those 30-year friendships and I was heartbroken, I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm such a shitty friend. I started attracting these brand new friends that started coming in that like loved me and honored me and respected me just as a person. I don't want somebody to just always try to pump me up, push me up. I love myself. But it's so nice. You'll see the difference immediately when you're around, when you come from being around people who didn't honor and respect you, that falls apart. And then these people that just honor and respect who you are come into your life. You feel the energetic difference. You know, so this attracting, this manifesting, this best deliberate creator alive, this is attracting friends, family, you know, mates, your mate for life, anything that you need in your life, right? Your community should bring you joy. Your community should bring you joy. Are you around people that bring you joy? When you're talking to your friends, does it bring you joy? When you go to work, does it bring you joy? Is what you're doing bringing you joy? Because if not, that is the number one indicator that you need to love yourself better. And sometimes loving yourself better, you got to pull back from the community. You got to pull back from the work. You got to pull back from the friends and family. And you got to refill up your heart. You got to re-love yourself. Reconstruct the plan. Reconfigure it all, right? And so just know that how you feel is an indicator. Do you feel good on the inside or do you feel drained on the inside? Do you feel joy on the inside or do you feel drained? That is like the internal divine, you know, and that's what's going on right now. And that's what's so great is like the divine feminine, the internal indicator is getting louder and louder and louder, and like you can't ignore it. And so if something or someone isn't bringing you joy, let them go in the name of love. Not fuck you, blah, blah, blah. I send you love, but I need you over there. Because I'm not feeling this. This doesn't work for my self-love. This isn't making me feel good. And that doesn't mean it has to be forever. If they come back and they come back at you at a different vibration, by all means, let them in the name of love. You know, I hope for that sometimes with some of the people and the things that have gone away from my life. I think, oh man, it'd be really nice if they came back in at a different vibration one day, right? You know, self-love, you don't hold grudges. And self-love, you know, I had a coaching client leave my coaching, right? And I said, okay, you know, I get it. I refund your money. I love you. And she was pissed. What do you mean you love me? You don't even know me. You don't know anything about me. There's no way you could love me. And I'm like, whoa, no wonder this isn't for you, right? Unconditional love is I love everyone. I love everyone. Me and my nephew were just having a huge conversation about heaven and hell. He said, as above, so below. And I said, what does that mean to you, Roman? And he said, you know, he started talking about heaven and hell. And, you know, I said, well, what do you think about heaven and what do you think about hell? And he said, well, I believe hell is a place where bad people go. And I said, well, what is bad people? And he's like, the people that hurt people and the people that kill people and the people that kill themselves. And I was like, oh, wow, this is a powerful conversation. I said, so let me ask you something. I believe that God is love, unconditional love. So people that hurt people and people that kill people and people that kill themselves, do you think that they're hurting? And he was like, well, yeah. And I said, so do you think that after they go through this life that God's going to put them in some burning pit of hell and make them burn up for the rest of their lives? He was like, I don't know, Rara. I was like, well, I don't believe that. I believe that hell is when we're walking around and we're holding that anger. And we're not saying and speaking the light that we feel inside of us. We're not speaking our truth. We're not speaking, we're not sticking up for ourselves. I believe that's hell. That's what creates disease in the body. That's what makes your body hurt. That's what keeps attracting all these funky ass things into your life. That's hell. Hell is here in the human flesh. When you get released from that, I feel like you're just free. And if you have to come back again, you have to come back again and get it right? Guys, to be in this divine feminine, to be sacred, you don't have to do motivational videos. You don't have to do coaching and card readings and, spiritual teachings and all of that, right? You can be a bank teller. You can be part of the political movement. You can work in a store. You can build houses. You can do welding. You can work with fish. You can, pet stores. You can do anything, right? But do you see that there's sacredness and a love exchange and everything? I was a barber. And, my ministry and everything went into my haircuts. That hair would be on fire in the name of love. They would feel so fueled up in the name of love when they left there. My tips were outstanding. The people loved to come in and see me, tell me their stuff, and have me find solutions to their problems, right? So, my mom is a, direct care worker. Do you know how much love she gives those people in that job? Do you know how sacred her job is? It's the most sacred. If you're a stay-at-home mom, that's great. If you're a flight attendant, that's amazing. You don't have to do these spiritual jobs to be amazing. Yes, girl, I've been there. But it took that to bring me here. Yeah, Betty. And I really do agree with, it does take for you to go through hell and see that in you to get to the heaven, get to the sacredness of life. I really do hope that we do this so, my kids, my grandkids don't have to go through that hell, because damn it, it hurts, right? I have to believe that that's why this giant switch is going on. In self-love, guys, we can't change people, right? We can't change people. We can't change. I have so many people message me about the government. I have so many people message me about politics. I have so many people message me about insurance and vaccinations and all these things, right? I have conversations about it all the time. We can't change that. We can't change that. We might be able to be a little bit a part of the movement, right? But what I say is love yourself. Align with your divine mind. Always think up. Align with your divine mind. Love them. Love the politics. Love the religions. Love the vaccinations. Love the scientists. Love everything that you really don't understand, right? Love them just as they are and create your own life. So, I don't vaccinate my baby. I don't make a big stink about it. I sign her up for something, and I keep it moving. Now, where you run into trouble is when you're like, I don't vaccinate. And then the place is like, what? Give me the paperwork. Right? So you just go in and know that if you're a high vibration, you're just going to go through life smooth. The lower vibration is where you stumble over the rocks and you keep tumbling and stumbling and tumbling and stumbling. When you lift that vibration and you align with your divine mind, all that stuff fades away. I don't worry about all that stuff. I know that that's all going to work out. I know that, I can't lower my vibration down into those things I can't change, but I can give it unconditional love. I smother that stuff in unconditional love. I put it in it, through it, all around it, and that's what I love. That's like my favorite prayer to send out is unconditional love, because I don't know what you need. I don't know what the politicians need. I don't know what these scientists need. I don't know. I just know that, it's not good. I know that, if you're just following this system, there's a lot of things that are happening that are really shady. And so I just send everything unconditional love. There was a time where I used to walk around and want to save the world. And I had this friend from the West Indies, and he's like, girl, you're 5'3". You cannot save the world. Like, you have to just figure out how to just sit there and send out love. And I was in that real masculine vibration. So I was like trying to go here and trying to do this and work with the kids and work with the homeless and give away this and give away me. And like, the more that I start to do this, the more he pops into my mind. Like, you gotta chill, girl. You gotta be patient. You gotta think it. You gotta smother it in love. Let the things that are for you come to you. Let the things that aren't for you fall away. Are you holding on to things right now that are dead? Because that's a part of self-love, right? So a lot of people are holding on to things that are dead. Relationships, careers, goals, right? We do a lot of goal setting in my coaching. And one thing that I tell them right away is, if you need to change that goal, change that goal. It's not in cement. So you can change that goal. If a goal gets dead to you, you have to let it go. Face these things. Is it a blessing for you, or is it stressing you? If it's stressing you, you need to let it go. You need to let it go. If your relationships are stressing you, let it go. If the job is stressing you, let it go. If your friends are stressing you, let it go. I let go of all those things. When you let go of them, that leaves room for the new stuff to come in. I tell you guys all the time, I'm an energetic feng shui artist, right? And so this happens with your home, with your life, with the people that you let in your life, all that stuff, right? So as you clear out your closets, you make room, right? One of my very best friends, she attracted the man of her dreams, and this was years ago. And a lot of her other friends didn't believe in it. But her and I would sit there, and she would say, she built her own house. She did all these great things. And she's like, I'm ready for the man of my dreams. And I'm like, girl, we need to clean out them closets. Clean out that one side. Give some room in the bathroom. And guess what? As soon as she did all that stuff, boom, she attracted the man of her dreams. I love her. I love my friends. So I can't stand to hear people say, oh, I hate my friends, and I hate my work, and I hate my body, and I hate my life. And I'm like, oh my God, you're so responsible for that. And so that's why I posted the other day, I don't talk problems unless we're going to talk solutions. You know what I learned, guys? Ask why. Asking why is so huge in self-love. Not asking the other person, why won't you love me better? Why won't you accept my point of view? Why don't you understand me? No. Ask yourself why. Why do I feel this way? If you're going to work every day and you hate your work, you have to ask yourself, why do I feel this way? And your intuition is going to tell you some fire shit. Your intuition is like the best friend in your life, right? If you keep creating the same thing in a friend pattern, in a work pattern, in a love relationship, why do I keep creating this pattern? It's going to tell you. So, if you're feeling a certain way when you go to work, are you just going to work to make money? Because that's not really enough anymore, guys. Your work needs to fill you up. Guys, when I'm doing this coaching, when I'm doing these videos, and when I'm going out and I'm speaking, and when I'm doing my energy work, I don't feel like it's work. I love it. It fills me up. That's how your work should be. So if you're working at the bank, if you're a direct care worker, if you're building houses, my dad was a home builder my whole life. He loved these houses that he put up. He put all his love into his houses, and you could see. You could see in the house, you could see that the house was made with love. You know, what my friend, she makes bags. You could see that those bags are made with love. She loves what she does. It doesn't feel like work. Sometimes she'll message me like, yo, I was up till 3 o'clock in the morning making these damn bags. I'm crazy. But there's so much love in her bags. When people buy the bags, they don't even care to drop $85 on a bag because they're like, yes, I'll never find this bag anywhere else. You know, if you keep running into the same thing, no matter what it is, ask yourself why. Your intuition's going to tell you. That's what's so dope about the Divine Feminine Rising. You are getting more in touch with your intuition, men and women, all of us. Ask yourself, why do I keep making the same choice? You know, I have a lot of friends, I'm 35, who keep going out and drinking and partying, feeling like shit, spending their bill money, yada, yada, yada. You guys know the story, right? Why do they keep making that choice? Most of the time they're making that choice because they're suppressing something. Your intuition will tell you. You're hiding from your life. You don't want to face it. You don't want to speak your truth, right? Because that's not self-love. I mean, you can go out, you can have a drink, you can get, you know, tossed up a little here once in a while. But if you're doing that all the time, that's not self-love. That's not self-love. Self-love is feeding your body good, treating your body good, doing anything you can to make your body feel good. Sometimes, you know, I had to learn how to rest in the name of self-love. When I was working, I had, like, my brain's off. I'm like, why am I doing this? You know, I kept coming to the same amount of money. What the hell am I doing? You know, guys, intentions are everything. Everything. So, you know, I always say for everything that I'm doing, my intention is the greatest good for all. You know, I don't just want the best for me. I want the best for everyone, all of you. Hi, Angie. I want the best for everybody that watches me, for everyone that messaged me, even for the people that don't believe in my work. I still want the best for them because I know that they don't get it. And I'm okay. I can't change them. I can just work on me, my vibration, my self-love, my community, my work, my everyday life. If you don't believe in what I do, that's none of my business. So ask why. If you're running into things, if you're running into, you know, things with anything, your health, your love life, your careers, your anything, if you're not feeling good, ask yourself why. Spend time alone to get answers. So what I learned is, you know, a lot of the times, just like, you know, my grandma, workaholic, my mom, workaholic, my dad, workaholic, my grandpa, workaholic, they never gave themselves alone time. So, like, they would go from work to the bar or from work to raising their kids, you know, always hectic, 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 hectic. You've got to spend alone time. That's whenever God, the universe, spirit gives you all your answers. You'll get these divine inspirations in your mind, right? You got to give yourself alone time. That's why I encourage meditation. That's why I encourage quiet time in your mind. You know, some people get quiet in their mind and get to racing on their to-do list. No, it's to chill out so you can get answers. You know, it's funny. Sometimes if I just take a walk, I get answers on the side of a billboard, or I get answers in a song that comes on the street, or from a business on the road, or a license plate, or a conversation that somebody else is having if I'm just quiet. And I don't mean like listen to the music. Get quiet. Get quiet. Yeah, I've been loving all of me and I'm okay with my alone. Yeah. Yeah, getting okay with your alone. That's good. That's good. You know, as you love you more, your intuition keeps growing. As you give yourself this alone time, your intuition keeps growing. You know, your intuition is the shit. Your intuition is what's guiding you. Your intuition is your internal guidance system. Your intuition is letting you know, how do I feel about this? It's not dealing with some old bullshit that you didn't want to deal with. It's not just tucking it down because you thought it was supposed to be that way. It's speaking your truth. It's tapping into the light that is in you and speaking that light. Sticking up for yourself. Sticking up for your heart. You know, Guys, we all have these massive, beautiful hearts. We are light. But if you keep trying to suppress that, then that's why you're going to attract all kind of funky stuff. You know, the more I come out here and the more I express my heart and the more I put love on the things I don't understand, the more I attract these really, really, really cool people that just love themselves. They don't base their days on if I call them. They don't base their lives on if I'm calling them to pump them up. They give me just as much, you know, the give and receive is so equal between us that we don't know what the hell's going on. Hello, love. It's good to see you, too. We were vibing so high the other day on your video. It kept shutting off. I'm like, I want to see this. I'm like, oh, it must not be meant to be. Let go of attachments, Sarah. I'm a little attached to Elaine's videos. You know, guys, if you're trying so hard and you feel like you're going nowhere, take a break, rest, play, connect with nature. Everything can wait. Every single thing can wait. Let go of attachments. I just said, Elaine's video wasn't working the other day. I was kind of really wanting it. I had to let go of that. And then I think she just popped right on, but I was busy. I had to let go of that too. You know, guys, and you might really notice that after your break, you might want to make some serious changes. You might want to energetic feng shui your whole entire life. And, you know, I love it. I created my secret group, and I really love it. We've been rocking the shit in there, right? And I love it because a lot of times when I was doing this by myself for so many years, I would go in and I would do my alone time, and I would come up with all these divine inspirations, and I would come out and I would try to tell everybody, and they'd be like, what? Why don't you get a little bit more real life and then come back? That's why I love my group. That's why I love my coaching, because my coaching is, I'm coaching leaders. And my group is a place where we can go and we can power talk everything. You know, I have two amazing women that have husbands, and I give them so much love because I did this all by myself. So I couldn't imagine having a divine partner, and I'm trying to learn how to love myself. You know, there was a lot of time in my time where I was like, I need to be alone. I need to be by myself. So, you know, if you have a spouse, I give you so much love in this. And I believe that as you communicate and talk and share your light with your spouse, we're healing one another. And I love to see them sharing that because that's eventually what I want. So you guys really inspire me. Thank you. Yes, I used to dim my light because of other people and their insecurities. They couldn't handle my brightness, so I compromised myself, but no more. Yeah, Betty, I get it, girl. I get it. I did it for a really long time. You know, I have journal on top of journal on top of journal of divine inspirations that I was afraid to share. But you know what? Now I have to say that the more I speak my truth, the more those people and their insecurities, they fall away from me. And the more I just have this tribe that's just like, yes, you rock. I love you. If I am down, they're like, fuck, you're just shit. I love what you do. Or if they're down, I'm like, wait a minute. You've always been enough. Get back up and go out there and do that. You know, these group of friends is so much different than those old friends with their insecurities and those old friends that as soon as you got some good news, they want to shoot you down. I don't have any friends like that anymore. I don't have any friends like that anymore. And, you know, it's funny because now I even vibe with, like, different family members. You know, it's like, as you speak your truth, different people, like, come out of the woodwork like, hey, girl, I heard you talking about something I do. I was like, what? Oh, this. Oh, yeah, yes. I hear you want to raise your kid in unconditional love. Me too, me too. Woo! I have a whole bunch of friends with little kids that think just like me. You know, and when I first got pregnant with True, I thought, oh my God, how am I going to do this? I just kept speaking my truth. I just kept speaking my truth. All the old shit started falling away. All the new stuff started coming in. I had some great little plugs along the way. I love you guys. I really do love you guys. If this unconditional love, alignment, all of these things, if this is something that you're interested in, please message me because my coaching is so dope, so fun. We have a secret community of people who just inspire and pump one another up. We share the process. The whole process is what I've done over and over and over and over and over to become the best deliberate creator alive, to become this unconditional love that I speak of. Oh yeah, Vanda, you remember when I was growing true, freaking out. I had to let go of that. And now I have all kind of friends that want to raise their babies like me. I have a whole tribe. I'm so thankful. I am so thankful for self-love, alignment, quantum physics, healing, vibrations, energy, all the things I used to be so afraid to speak up about. But, you know, guys, I always had that throat chakra popping, so I'd be in the barbershop talking about unconditional love, and you gotta love yourself, and your body wants to heal, and everything is only energy, frequency, vibration. They'd be like, what in the hell? I love you guys. I love it all. Albert Einstein, Nikola Tesla, how great. They came from that heavy masculine vibration and talked about all this stuff. How great. You know, we had people that came and cleared these paths for us, but then we just had to keep clearing it. You know, when you make that path in the woods, I'm a woods kid. You have to keep going on that path. You have to keep making it. You have to keep, you have to be, if you're a trendsetter, you have to make your own path. Like, here, I found a shorter way home. We're going to start going this way. You have to keep rubbing it through. Practicing. Self-love, alignment, energy, vibrations. Quit taking this stuff so personal. Quit being mad at your ancestors. Quit being angry on the inside. Everything happened to bring you here. All the good and all the bad, it was all to bring you here. It was all to be, I really do believe us people that are here right now, we picked to be here when the divine feminine rose, to speak our truth, to speak our hearts, to speak what we want into creation, to create our lives, to show our ancestors that we're creating our lives, to show our kids that we're creating our lives. I really do believe that. If you believe that too, give me some hell yes. Give me some hearts. Give me some love. Share it out. Share it out. Share it out. Guys, you're the creator of your experience. And so if anything is off in that experience, it's you. It's you and you on your planet. You got to love you better. If anything is off in that, you got to love you better. No one's going to fix your stuff. My coaching isn't to fix your stuff. My coaching is to hold you accountable for your vibration, to show you how to vibrate higher from a low vibration, to show you when you get out of alignment, how to get back into alignment. I'm not fixing people. They're fixing themselves. It all starts with you. It all starts with you. And I'm not mad if you aren't ready. I'm not mad if you don't get it. I'm not mad if you don't believe in me. I'm not mad at all. I'm not mad. I'm vibrating too high to be mad or worried about what anybody else is doing. I love you guys because we're all connected. I'm dedicated to my mission of helping the vibrations on the planet raise. And so every interaction I have, I try to give so much love, undivided attention, unconditional love. Every day I'm forever learning. Every conversation I'm always learning something new. Listening, asking questions, listening for the signs, listening to my intuition, trusting my heart, even though I wasn't taught that way. I love your guts too. Even when my mom doesn't understand me or she thinks my videos, there's some kind of slam my mom. I love her. I love her. It's not that. You don't have... Hate isn't going to help anything. You got to love. Unconditional love is the everything. The all. I just had a huge conversation about, what do you think God is? Unconditional love. They're like, well, you said that was certainty. Because I know. Well, how do you know? Try it. Try unconditional love. Try love yourself. You'll see. Come back. Let me know what you find out. I was talking to this Muslim guy, and he was really trying to question me. Well, then, what do you think God is? He said. well, the Quran has a bunch of good stuff. I'm like, yeah, the Quran has a bunch of good stuff. The Bible has a bunch of good stuff. I love it all. But the whole main point, the whole everything and everything is unconditional love. Unconditional love. Unconditional love of self. Unconditional love of the masculine and feminine in you. Loving all that with your heart. Loving where you come from. Loving where you're going. Loving everyone around you. Loving what you dropped off. Loving what you attracted. Hi, beautiful! Loving if you can't upload your old videos. Who cares, right? Letting go of attachments. If you didn't like the experiences that you had before, creating new experiences. If you didn't like the people you were around before, creating new friends. You know, guys, every single job that I've ever done along the way trained me for my mission, my purpose. I believe that everybody has a mission. Everybody has a purpose. But if you're not tuning in and clearing out that gunk and falling in love with yourself, of course you're going to think I'm crazy. Everybody has a purpose. I like to attract people that want to get to that. I like people that want to be in their mission, their divine mission on earth. It looks so different for everybody. But I love those people. I don't want people that are just on autopilot, cruising through life, blaming everybody else, mad as hell. I don't got time for that. I don't got time for that in a conversation, in a workplace, in these videos, in emails, and I don't have time. I just have time for good stuff. I made that boundary in my life. Without expectation or attachment, true love. Yes, Dawn, that's what I was talking about. Let go of expectations. Let go of attachments. True love. Unconditional love. Love for if you like them or don't. Love for if you fuck with it or not. Love if they cuss or don't. Love if they get you or not. I don't care. I love everybody. I love everybody. And I extra love the people that are hurting. Because the people that are in this self-love already, they only just need like a little bit of love here and there. They don't even really need it because they love themselves. The people that are like extra hurting, they need you to push that love and pump that love and, you know, don't wish something bad on somebody. If somebody did something bad to you or hurtful to you or hurt your heart, don't wish them bad because guess what happens? That turns around and comes back on your ass. Yes, it does. That's the law. That's a universal law. Wish them good. Wish them good. It don't take but 1 second to say, man, I hope that person falls in love with themselves. Man, I hope that they get it one day what unconditional love really is. Wish them well. Don't wish people bad. Wish them well. I've had all kind of people trigger me. I'm like, man, I hope they're successful. I hope that works out for them. I've had all kind of people try to hurt my feelings. I'm like, man, I really hope they're happy. People are like, you are weird, Sarah. I don't know, man. This unconditional love has just been in me. I was angry when I was a kid. But then whenever I experienced healing and the magic of healing and the body healing, I went fucking crazy with love. I went crazy with love. You couldn't stop me. And yeah, here and there, since there, I've had triggers. And you have to love yourself through your triggers. You have to love yourself through your doo-doo. We all have doo-doo. All right, guys, I'm getting off here. I love you guys because we're all connected. Thank you so much for all your love. If you want to know anything about my coaching, message me. We're having so much fun. We're rolling. We're staying in alignment with our divine minds. It's a bunch of leaders. So if you don't want to be a leader, don't even message me about it. If you want to be a leader and you want to be in alignment and you want to be in love with yourself, then it's the place for you. All right, guys, I love you because we're all connected. One love.